So in this lesson, I will give you some advice on the prototyping process. Prototyping is one of the most important parts of project creation because prototype give you the opportunity to test your idea and make it a reality. The goal of this lesson will be to help you build the minimum viable product that makes sense with your project goal, product or service and aesthetics, and also give you some advice on how to make your minimum viable product testable. At the end of this step, you should also be able to develop a practical prototype for your idea, create tests and surveys, and iterate on your idea if needed. So usually when people talk about prototypes, and as you can see in the photo here, prototypes are often thought of to be used for physical products, but you can totally create prototypes for services as well. Creating a prototype is truly an important step toward ensuring a successful production and successful implementation of your project, because it can really provide you with information about what you keep, what you need to keep, and what you need to change. So testing your product functionality can help you really determine whether your product or service functions as intended. So prototypes allow you to demonstrate your product or service to your target audience, and you can show them what you aim to accomplish. And for physical products, it can help you highlight the proper material to use and maybe even find more efficient ways of doing it. And lastly, it can help you create discussions around your product, and you can provide clear answers when people ask you about it. So this template here will help you create and develop a proper prototype. So the creation of a prototype goes through 3 different steps. There's a planning phase. So the planning phase, this is where you can create a to-do list, for example, is where you create a list of assets that you need for your prototype. And you can also develop proof of concept scenario that demonstrate how your product work. For example, I created a proof of concept scenario for an algae-based textile. I divided it into introduction, what it is, what the objective, the steps that are needed to create this product, like grow the algae, extract the fibers, etc. The next step is to build your prototype or create an easy testable product. If you are creating a product, this is the opportunity to create mock-ups, 3D prints, or just use paper. If you are creating a service, this is where you can find the easiest possible way to test your service with real people. So really the key here is to do the simplest thing that you can, because the goal here is to test your solution in front of people that are not you. So you can understand how people react to it and what you should change and what you should keep. And finally, after you have your minimum viable product, that's when you are testing the product, and that's where you're gathering feedback. A good way to gather feedback is to create surveys. So really ask your target consumer what their expectations are, what they're interested in, what they're expecting to gain from interactive with your solution, and many other questions. And if you need to iterate, then you can go through the planning phase, the building phase, and the testing phase again. And you do this until you feel like you have covered all of the problems that your solution has. And that is it for the prototyping phase. Please make sure to don't skip any of these steps, as they're really important for the creation of your successful prototype. And yeah, thank you very much for listening, and I'll see you in the next lesson.